Good evening and a very warm welcome. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Kritsween Valia. We're coming to you live from CNN News 18 Primetime Studio, presented by Green Lamb Laminates. Viewers, for the last 7 days, the attack on Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan has been the talk of the nation. What started with a burglary attempt gone wrong is now snowballed into a massive controversy, and for reasons more than one. First, it was an intense 3-day manhunt to nab the man who entered Saif Ali Khan's residence with a motive to steal, but ended up stabbing the actor 6 times in his back and the neck as well. Then the attacker was nabbed and the focus turned completely to illegals, with the Bangladesh link coming to the fore. And now it is visuals of Saif Ali Khan walking out of Lilavati Hospital post his discharge that have become the central theme of a political back and forth in Maharashtra. Shortly after his visuals surfaced, netizens began questioning the authenticity of the earlier stabbing details when he asked, how can a man who suffered near-death experience be walking so high and tall? And now even top Maharashtra leaders have jumped into that bandwagon. They're now casting doubts on the version presented in the case so far. Even as what to believe and what not remains on everyone's mind, one can't deny that version presented is not airtight. The loopholes are uncanny. The police version, remember, remains devoid of answers to a number of questions, such as the police claim that security guards were asleep when the attacker entered. But why is there no evidence of the attacker scaling the compound wall? That's the first big question and the most logical question, basic question that comes to anyone's mind. Many have also pointed to the alleged mismatch in the images of the accused caught on the CCTV footage while escaping Saif Ali Khan's house on the day of the incident, and the one post the accused's arrest, which was shared by the Mumbai police. Another question that has sparked suspicion is, why was it that the investigating officer was changed in the middle of the probe? Questions also continue to be asked and raised over who accompanied Saif Ali Khan to the hospital. There are multiple versions going around. Staff says it was his elder son, Ibrahim. The doctor said it was Taimur. So who really was accompanying Saif in reality? And if more than 20 teams were on the lookout for the accused, then how was it that when the attacker slept in a garden for 2 hours and then took a train to Dadar from Bandra, no one spotted him? Or were the agencies not alerted in time? What really went on there? There are also questions galore as the theories don't quite add up. But today, more political leaders in Maharashtra, viewers, have questioned the official version and have given their own twist to what is being backed by some and being called a new law by the rest. Here are some examples. Maharashtra Minister Nitesh Rane has said that he doubts whether Saif Ali Khan was really stabbed or if this was all staged, questioning the short recovery period after a near-death stabbing experience. Ahead of this, we've also seen almost on similar lines, Shiv Sena leader Sanjay Nirupam, once again part of the Mahayuti government, has asked how is it that after a 2.5-inch knife wound, 6-hour surgery, that Saif Ali Khan was able to return back home within 4 days. Another question raised by the Sena leader. And wading into the controversy even later, AIMIM leader Waris Pathan alleged that there's doubt and question in the minds of people, and there's also some secret that's being hidden. Also urged the police and Saif Ali Khan must clarify the same as to what really is it that's not adding up and clear the confusion once and for all. So as more and more questions arise, there are these quote-unquote theories that are being peddled. Are these factual or all of it part of a larger fiction, a narrative that is being woven by some? We'll take that up with our guests in just a bit, and also our experts on what really do they make of the ongoing investigations by the Mumbai police in just a bit after these quick reactions.
नालायक बघा किती आहेत. पहिलं फक्त नाक्यावर उभं राहायचे, आता घरात घुसायला लागलेले आहेत. कदाचित त्याला घेऊन जायला आले असतील. हे घाट लेके जाओ.
डॉक्टर ने बताया कि 6 घंटे तक उनका ऑपरेशन चला था। उसके बाद 4 दिन के अंदर एक व्यक्ति इतना फिट होकर के हॉस्पिटल से डिस्चार्ज होकर आ सकता है क्या?
इतना अगर गहरा घाव है कमर में, एक इंसान चल के आ रहा है, फोटोज अलग दिखा रहे हैं पुलिस। तो हम तो चाहेंगे कि पुलिस सामने आए और बोले कि क्या हकीकत है, क्या हुआ था उस रात को।
त्यांनी जर काही त्यांच्या मनात असेल तर डिपार्टमेंटला सांगावं. मी पण डिपार्टमेंटला
Let's open this up with our guest joining us this evening, Vishwas Pathak, spokesperson Maharashtra BJP, along with Chitra Bhatam, spokesperson of the Congress. Dr. D.K. Gupta, chairman Felix Hospital, is with us as well, along with former ACP Mumbai Dhanraj Vanjari. Many thanks to all of you for joining us this evening. You know, while we're talking about a controversy that arose from a stabbing incident of a high-profile celebrity in Mumbai, this was a posh region, a high-profile region, Bandra. There's so many questions still being asked, and I want to first up go across to our experts. Let's begin with Mr. Dhanraj. Mr. Dhanraj, you know, like I just detailed in my opening remarks, the focus has shifted every few days with regards to the probe, with regards to the main suspect, now accused, currently, you know, in police custody, which is also coming to an end. But people are largely not being able to believe the version that has been shared officially. What do you make of it? Of the police investigation, the manner in which this entire episode unfolded?
As per my knowledge, police investigation is going on perfectly in a manner, legal and in a truthful way. The people who should have faith in constitution and constitutional institution should believe the police version ultimate and thereafter judiciary, because police is finally answerable to judiciary. So in spite of making some hue and cry over some photograph, over some injuries, over some locations, and over some minor things here and there like changing of IOs and all these things, I don't think it has a big issue or big marks to
But Mr.
make
Vanjari,
on
if
the
I may, what
process of
explains,
investigation.
for instance, changing the investigating officer? Unless there's a strong reason, a compelling reason, usually that's not the norm, right? So the fact that it's not been shared, the fact that we don't know the details or the reason as such, though the police does not divulge too many details when the probe is underway, because it may just dent the probe than help the probe or the investigating agencies. But what explains this kind of a transfer, sir?
Actually, when police gave in the press whatever facts, they always said that further investigation is on. I think sufficient time must be given to police. There are so many evidences. There are digital evidence, circumstantial evidence, and forensic evidence. Let them have a forensic verification of everything possible. And after they do that, then only the questions should be erected like this. According to me, whatever is going on is perfectly clear and perfectly all right. Now, making hue and cry that investigation officer has been changed. It's a routine thing. It's not a big deal. There is no fault of the previous investigating officer so that the officer was changed. It is not like that. It is just a matter of distribution of work. Let me tell you, when crime branch investigates, there is a prima facie procedure under the law, CRPC, the new BNNS, that the FIR need to be registered at local police station. So, legally speaking, prima facie speaking, who is IO? The person, the police officer who registered FIR at local Bandra police station. Thereafter, the investigation shifted to crime branch. So, naturally, in crime branch, they will be having one or two good officers, 3-4 good officers. And finally, let me make a very clear point. Investigation is not a job of one person. It's a teamwork, answerable to every superior. Suppose the rank of investigating officer is inspector, he is answerable to ACP.
Mr. Vanjari,
ACP
I also want you to respond on what's being speculated around the movement of the attacker, the intruder, the main accused in this case, because the man has been nabbed though, but the details that have come to light so far, you know, of how he exited from the same route that he used to enter the building, those visuals of course have been caught on the CCTV. The fact that he scaled the compound wall, you know, the security was guarding the building, yet that happened. how he was spending 2 hours post attacking Saif Ali Khan in this garden. He ate at a nearby stall. He changed his clothes. All of that happened, and nobody caught a whiff of it, sir. So,
That is what you
there is a little bit of a question mark, with regards to what really happened right after his exit, after having committed this heinous crime, 6 stab injuries that the actor sustained, 2 of them very deep. He managed to get away so easily, and nobody could spot him. He was finally caught 3 days into the incident.
As you started with the word, I appreciate your remark. It is speculation. Why to speculate? That is my counter question to you. Why to speculate? Unless and until you have a ultimate testified forensic
So
testified
you're
truth.
saying the fact that he spent 2 hours in the garden, etc., is also all part of speculation, because some of these instances and details have been shared by the Mumbai police itself. That's why I'm trying to piece it together.
That has practically nothing to do with the investigation. Investigation is a legal scientific process. Somebody sitting in the garden or somebody walking, that will be the fact in a process which will be taken care of properly in a process of investigation. I have faith and trust on my police force.
Okay, all right. We'll come back to you in a bit, Mr. Dhanraj. That does answer some of our questions. But Mr. Pathak, what explains, several top Maharashtra leaders, including ministers from the Mahayuti, try to talk about how there is a larger trust deficit in the Janta of Maharashtra. They're not really buying the version that has been shared by the police so far, or by Saif Ali Khan and his family, who was accompanying him, who took him to the hospital. How is it that he's positively recovered within 5 days of such serious injuries? What do we make of these statements?
See, 2-3 things. First of all, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, who is Chief Minister of Maharashtra, is also Home Minister of Maharashtra. Under him, police is investigating this matter, and now matter is sub judice. So if anybody has got any kind of information, additional information, they are free to give it to the police officers. Such kind of speculations has got no meaning at all. How much time it should take for recovery, how much time it should take for operation, these are not the issues to be discussed. If somebody is recovered in 5 days' time, I think we should be happy for him. Why? We should debate on that. Secondly, Maharashtra police has been doing a fantastic job from very next moment. They caught him also within 72 hours, and it is proved that he is a foreign national Bangladeshi. And just now information is received that his driving license of Bangladesh is also recorded by police. So investigation is going in the right direction. And whatever Mumbai police cops say, that is the final version. Matter is sub judice.
No, I agree.
Now,
but
court will
what
decide
do we make
who is
of
guilty and what has happened.
a senior Mahayuti leader, Mr. Pathak? He's a minister in the Maharashtra government. When he comes out to make a public statement and asks a larger question on whether or not this actually happened or was staged, what kind of a message is being sent out is what I'm asking. A, so are you in support of that? And B, why bring in religion into all of this?
No, I think he's posing question, how it can happen. So I don't know what is the intent of posing this question. I would say the official position is cops who are guided by Home Minister, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, and I think they are doing good job.
Okay. Chitra, would you want to respond to that? Do you think it's as simple as that? Because your party has surely gone after the Bharatiya Janata Party, has called it extremely unacceptable, irresponsible remarks on part of the Maharashtra minister and also Mr. Sanjay Nirupam.
Yes, absolutely, Christine. I would like to say that it's totally insensitive of such people to completely, name shame the respective victim. I mean, that thing is a regular strategy of the BJP party, be it the women, students, farmers, or now even the celebrities. On one hand, police is not able to answer such serious questions related to the crime after so many days have lapsed by, and still the Maharashtra ministers and the MLAs and the party members now divulge into name shaming Saif Ali Khan on the respective attack, whether it was staged or not. I would also like to mention that over here, as somebody said that Devendra Fadnavis is also the Home Minister, 15% rise in the crime rate has happened since last year, and I must tell you, this has happened because of the rampant politicization of the Maharashtra police under the Mahayuti or the BJP rule.
You're
since
saying the
2004.
crime rate has increased under their rule, but their counter to that is it is your vote bank politics that has given rise to all of these criminals and many in the form of illegal immigrants from Bangladesh. Because if we go by statistics as well, and to just counter that, Chitra, and I'll let Mr. Pathak respond, but it's not as though your government or your alliance was not in power. This was 2.5 years ago that I'm talking about, and do remember that things from 2.5 years back to now are not very different. We're still seeing as much crime, we're still seeing a law and order situation problem, but your government did not think about constituting an SIT to probe into the entire matter, did it?
Absolutely, Kristen. As I'm saying, 2.5 years is not a long time to kind of improve the law and order of such a huge state. So we must consider the time duration that the Mahayuti or the BJP government has been into power. And as I've mentioned, be it their police or be it anybody, the rampant politicization that has happened of the Maharashtra police, that was once called as the Scotland Yard of India, has now completely proven itself into a dismal performance. So but it's shameful the way in which this particular case is being handled. It is very it's pathetic. It is Mumbai used to be the safe home for a lot of people, and now it has completely become unsafe. Rampant chain snatchings and such events.
Okay, so you're raising concerns around the larger law and order problem in Maharashtra, not just in Mumbai. I'll
Yes,
go
it
across
is.
to Mr. Pathak and Mr. Dhanraj, both for that. Mr. Dhanraj, in fact, wants to respond as well, but I'll go across to Dr. D.K. Gupta in the meanwhile, because he's been waiting very patiently. And to put to rest, Doctor, this entire question that is being asked as to whether or not, after having sustained the injuries that he did, six stab wounds, 2 of them were said to be quite deep, 2.5-inch deep and close to the spinal cord. Is a recovery possible, a recovery such as this, wherein you see the actor walking out, he's all fine, he's all by himself, he's feeling great, within 5 days, 4-5 days? Because that doesn't seem to go down well with too many.
I think we should think in reference to the patient point of view. He has 6 stab wounds, one in left hand that was near where lots of blood vessels and nerves lies. It can cause permanent paralysis of the hand. It can cause blood leakage that can lead into shock and death also. He has a right side neck injury stab wound also, that there here carotid artery lies. In nerves also there are lots of there. If it damages the carotid artery, it can lead to sudden collapse and death also. He has 2 stab wounds in the back, and one is near to the spinal cord, thoracic spinal cord. If that could be cut, अगर वो cut हो जाती है तो वहाँ पे he could have paralysis of the lower limbs, bladder retention, bowel retention, means he will not be able to urinate, or he will not able to defecate also. These are serious injuries. We all are controlled by our central nervous system that consists of brain and spinal cord. These are part of central nervous system. If that there is a cut injury and that damages the dura mater, that is a part of spinal cord, and there is a spinal cord leak. Spinal cord, the fluid that provides nutrients to the brain, from which it works actually. If there is a bigger leakage, or he doesn't go on time to the hospital, went on the time to the hospital, it can lead to serious concerns also. Definitely, because of good medical infrastructure, in immediate emergency treatment, immediate transfer to the hospital, he could survive also, and he didn't have lots of complications. But definitely doesn't mean that he didn't have a serious or grievous injury. He has serious or grievous injury, they can lead to death also. So I think
But the
recovery
kind of recovery that he's made, sir, the fact that Dr. Gupta, the fact that he was able to walk by himself, the fact that he looked largely fine. Do you think that's possible with given modern
Yeah, that
medicine
is possible.
and the kind of treatment that you're talking about? It's possible that he comes out of this within 4-5 days. Just to put this to rest, because there's so much speculation going on, and we're just trying to counter it with facts.
It's definitely possible because he didn't have any type of shock, any type of serious complication, any type of blood leakage or low blood pressure or neural cut injury. There were partial damage to the dura mater from where there was leakage of spinal fluid. It means he was not, if he didn't receive on time treatment, if the leakage was not closed, then it can lead to the serious injury. Definitely, because the surgeries are very fine. There was not severe cut injury was not there, and after the treatment, the removal of the knife from that spinal cord or thoracic spine, he recovered very well because his age is good. He don't have comorbidity also. Yeah, and his immunity for recovering is also fast, so that is also justified with the we have best antibiotics to give that can be given to him. Steroid have been given to him. They also help in the speeding up the recovery also. So there are medical treatment available, surgical treatment available that can provide immediate or even not immediate.
So,
but
despite having suffered or sustained those kind of serious injuries, undergone a 6-hour surgery, he is very well capable of recovering fully, so that he can walk by himself and can be seen the way he is in these visuals after 4 to 5 days. It's absolutely normal, so that puts this to rest for sure. But Mr. Vishwas Pathak, that also answers the concerns that have been raised by certain Mahayuti leaders, that this was not staged. Anybody who suffers this kind of a serious injury is stabbed close to his spinal cord, undergoes a 6-hour surgery, is very well capable of recovering, also perhaps owing to his physical fitness.
See, it's a very common sense that recovery depends upon age of the patient, physical health of the patient, seriousness of the injury, response time, the way he got his medical treatment. So many things. I think it should not be an issue for discussion. If somebody is recovered in 5 days' time, nobody should have objection for that. And if they want to
but the problem here is in anybody raising an objection to that, Mr. Pathak, in anyone from any political party raising an objection to that, it's being seen as an attempt to distract and divert, because a serious investigation is underway. When you raise these kind of concerns and bring in a religious angle, it sends a wrong impression, sir, and that's what's happened.
In democratic setup, this is bound to happen. As far as we are concerned, as a government we are concerned, probe is going on very well, effectively and in right direction. Culprit has already been booked. He has accepted also his crime. Now Saif Ali Khan is recovered also. I think we should be happy with overall development post these incidents.
Okay, all right. Because a comparison has also been made by some leaders to how, some other actors and celebrities from the other faith have not been given as much importance or haven't been prioritized like the Khans are prioritized in a city like Mumbai. So, but to cut the chase, I do know Mr. Dhanraj wanted to respond to what Chitra had also said a little while earlier about the law and order situation in Maharashtra. Mr. Dhanraj, yes. How would you respond to her?
Yes. Saying like this, I hope the people coming on channel, they are aware of the Indian Constitution and they are also aware of the constitutional responsibilities and authorities of constitutional institutes like police, judiciary. Police should respond to them as per their wish, as per their opinion. It is nowhere cited under any law. And calling in such circumstances where police have succeeded arresting the accused, that they are pathetic. I lodge my protest. I lodge my discontent against such kind of remark against the police. If police
Mr.
are
Dhanraj,
pathetic,
I think there is also so much talk about this because Saif Ali Khan enjoys a huge following. He's a popular face. He's a high-profile man.
I know
so everybody is quite intrigued about how this happened in the first place.
Totally different.
How is it that if this building was guarded by some, a man made his way through, came out, was hiding in the same area for the next 2-3 hours, managed to hop cities, hop places within Maharashtra and wasn't caught for 3 long days. And now there are questions being asked about his identity as well, that there's quite a mismatch in the photographs. So
you can ask questions. There is a democracy. You can ask questions. But prematurely asking the question before time has no sense. Has no sense absolutely. What I am saying right from beginning, that how the police been testified with certain facts, they are in a process. And before the process being completed, they are answerable to the law, they are answerable to ministry, they are answerable to judiciary. And apart from that, you are only singling out police and trying to hammer them like anything in an insensible way, like some political leaders have spoken. I have seen some pictures on your screen that some leaders from some factions, they are speaking like this. That is totally insane. If you say police process is pathetic, I will say it is insane.
Also, sir, because there are questions being asked around whether or not, those who were responsible to guard the building, whether they've been arrested because there was clearly a lapse. So are you telling us that there is a possibility that some probe has been initiated against them, but it is not incumbent on the police to give out those details?
No, it is. Tell me the law where it is compulsory on the police to give the
That's
details
what I'm asking
beforehand.
you, sir. That's what I'm asking
Beforehand, I am very clear. Let me speak. Don't interrupt when I say important word. Where is the compulsion under the law to give clarification beforehand? Nowhere.
Okay, I think we're also losing out on your line, sir. But yeah, I do get your point. So you're making it very clear that it's not incumbent on the police. They're not going to be divulging some of those details. Those questions need not be asked before we're in the final stages of the ongoing investigation. Unfortunate to see, though, the kind of political reactions that are coming in, not to take away from the intensity of the probe. So we're tracking that very closely here on CNN News 18. That's all the time we have, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanking Chitra as well. We head into a very short break with that. On the other side, we shift our attention to the mysterious death of 17 people that has put the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir on its toes. We'll decode that mystery in just a bit. We'll be right back.
Friends.
States he has now weighed in on the ongoing debate over the H-1B foreign guest workers visa, saying that he preferred both sides of the argument, while also noting that he liked very